Just gone it. Welcome all to the Senpai. Was that a baby?
What?
Welcome to SipTeawithSenpais. We're a bit giggly today. But I am your bubbly senpai Kai.
What's up? I'm your mediator senpai Nyera.
Hat Senpai here. Hi.
I'm too tired for this bullshit.
And yet.
But it's fun.
All the fun.
It is fun.
Just fun chilling with us.
Brah.
Speaking of which, today our first topic is qualities of being a senpai. Now, this mainly entails just what we think a senpai should be, how a senpai should act, and I guess maybe we can go into like what anime character would be our favorite senpai if we ever had to have like a mentor. Let's see. Somebody else want to start?
Kikyo.
Why?
She's hot. Is there like she's hot? She's never been defeated in a fucking fight. She got hoed, okay? She got hoed by the writers. I am pissed, okay? My homie was that bitch, okay? That's what she was. She was that bitch. And she has fat titty meat. She's cool as shit. She got that I don't give a fuck about nobody attitude. Yeah, she had her dude stolen and she got fucked. But again, that writer whole bitch. Okay, that's what happened. That's what really happened. All right. But I feel like her strength alone is just something admirable as hell. Because you don't ever sit here and struggle. She's just like, the literal fact that she had a human body was the only thing holding her back. And ever since she died, she's just like, souls. I'm like, and that was the day I knew I had a deep weakness for bad bitches. Okay, that was that day. All right, that is a bad bitch. I think she is perfect senpai material. Learning from her would be the greatest thing. All right, yeah, she wouldn't care and she let me get hurt a few times, but I wouldn't mind.
I'm just glad you acknowledge. She's like, if that bitch falls off a cliff, she'll just fall off the cliff.
Come on, no. Let's be honest. Let's be honest. Kikyo has that attitude that most of the people I have a thing for, like, she has that same attitude. Like, even the dude I'm like, even my boyfriend, same fucking Shishomaru type, I don't give a fuck about life type attitude. Like, bro always acts like he could not care less. He's like a cat, okay? They just really look at you like...
At this point, Yahida is legit just surrounded by cat.
Pretty much.
I really am. And it's not the good type of pussy that you love. It's like the type that it's the animal type that doesn't care about you. You exist and you're basically furniture to it. So that's how Bruno and most things look at me. And that's how I feel like Kikyo. That's exactly how I feel like she. And you know the crazy thing, the other people that I want to be like mentored by, like Madara or Itachi. Oh, getting turned on. I'm sorry.
See, I was waiting for it.
But these are all people that I feel like they would give me that look at this fucking idiot type of attitude, you know, like the way everybody else looked at Naruto, like this dickhead, look at her, you know, and that's what I feel like, you know, and I just feel like these are all good teachers. They're great teachers, if that. And I feel like besides, I like cute in Kikyo's outfit. I could fuck up that priestess uniforms with all this cake in the back. What?
This bitch.
What? Fighting crime in a thong. And they could see my little thong print through my thing. And, you know, I got the big anime titties when I'm running and shit. Like, he had them bazookas, okay? I could not believe that they would...
I'm like, for real, I'm trying to, like, did Kikyo have big titties?
She did. I'm
like, are you sure? This is just like, you know, fan art that you're just remembering?
Hold on, I could tell you because I watched tons of, like, Rule 34 porn with her, and like tons of it. And when I tell you, like, they were like, first of all, I was watching one video and it was like, it started off episode type thing, and it was like Inuyasha was like walking away from Kagome after they had sex. Kagome was like, her boobs were slightly smaller, and that's the day I noticed it. I was like, oh shit, Kikyo does have bigger titties than her. And then I was watching all the rants. People were like, her titties are double D's. Okay, you're going to sit here and leave a double D for a B cup? I think the fuck not. And I was like, oh my God, they're right. And then that was the day I was like, I want Kikyo titties. I want Kikyo titties. And that was like before puberty. That was way before I hit puberty. So I was like, if I don't get Kikyo titties, like I'm gonna kill myself. Like, there's no existing if I can't look like Kikyo. So that's why like I kept my hair dark. I want my hair super long because I, even as a full-grown adult, that will forever be my senpai. That bad bitch, but I care about everybody attitude. Love it. Okay. Kikyo will kill somebody, resurrect them, and heal their children. All right. All in one day. I love that bitch. Love her. Come on. Badass and a priestess.
I'm gonna let you have that because yeah.
I respect on my girl's name, okay?
I'm gonna let you have it. Would anyone else like to go?
Whatever.
Let's see. If I had to pick a senpai, I guess I relate to Honey Senpai from Oron, of course.
Yeah.
I
love this guy.
I know it's cheesy, but I'm like, I relate so damn much because like I don't know what it is about the episode where Honey Senpai had a damn toothache, and I was like, I feel so bad, but I understand his pain because I'm like, if anybody takes sweets from me, we got fighting words. Because that, if I could eat sweets forever and survive, I'd eat sweets forever.
I feel that too deeply.
And I don't know, I just like, he was the short one. Everybody was like, oh, he's adorable, but then he's like a secret badass, and I'm like, I feel all of this vein.
Man, what the fuck ever. That's only because Kai is equally like Honey Senpai. They're cute, but super evil on the inside. And that's why she loves him. It's not the candy. It's the fact that when he was fucking mean in that one episode, same thing. All right. If you guys go back a couple of episodes, you'll see the way Kai looked at Aaron, and Aaron got quiet like an abused housewife. Yeah. That's what the fuck it really is.
No,
okay?
I like seeing, like, everybody see. It always makes me think. I guess the first senpai I really related to was Bubbles from Powerpuff Girls. They're like, oh, she's the sweet one. She's not gonna hit me, and I'm like, yeah. But then when you push Bubbles too far, she's gonna kick all your asses, and they sure did. He sure did. She kicked everybody's asses. I was just like, yes, tell him.
I thought you were going to say because you both sound like children. You know what? I'm going to be quiet.
Well, I mean,
Get your ass in the corner somewhere.
that too. So that's my senpai.
I have no idea. I never thought about this. If we're being honest, I'm still trying to figure out, do I even have favorite female characters from anime in the first place?
It doesn't have to be a female.
I know, I'm just saying, because I have that thought too constantly. So I know I've never thought about if I had to have a senpai.
All right, so if you can't think of one, because I honestly can't think of one either, what are traits that you like look for in a senpai or think a senpai should have?
They have to think that I'm a worthless turd 24/7.
Are you sure you're not thinking of a dominatrix, Yahida? But you know what? This is not your turn. This is Alexis's turn.
Oh, we're still on me. I thought we moved over to somebody else.
Bitch! What are the qualities, like what qualities do you think a senpai should have, Alexis? Like as a person, what kind of person do you think that a good senpai needs to be?
Someone who's not me.
So the antithesis of Alexis.
Please shut the fuck up.
Someone who's completely not me.
I feel that. I'm like, also be someone, okay, Honey Senpai, yes, but also be someone that is not me at the same time, because I'm like, how am I gonna learn from someone that relates to me? So it's just like, you need to, like, I need my person that I relate. I need a senpai that I relate to, but a senpai that's the opposite of me. And they'll be like, you're doing that shit wrong. You shouldn't be doing that. I know it.
And like, I need somebody to tell me and stop my chaotic energy whenever it decides it wants to be chaotic.
Same.
Because it'll come out of nowhere half the time. And I need somebody to calm that down for me.
I need someone who understands me as a person who's nice, but also who like gives me a kick in the ass. So Yahida. As a character, I have no idea. Honest to God, I think like if I were to think about it, it'd be Sora from Digimon, the first season. Her character, she was always so nice and kind, and she was always there for her friends and wanted to protect people, and was always ready to fuck shit up too at the same time. And I was like, I admired that. She's so cool. It was like, I couldn't do Mimi because Mimi was way too girly for me at the time. Still is a little bit. But Sora, she was like, she's that chill girl who will punch you in the face if you fuck shit up. And I was like, I have much respect for a bad bitch like that. Also, I liked the fact that her Digimon evolved into this giant hawk woman.
Right. Cool.
It was so cool.
No, I don't. For me, a senpai is like someone you admire and you want to learn. To the point like you'd shadow the fuck out of them on some. You remember the little girl from Inuyasha who was following around Shishomaru? It's a person that's so great that you want to follow them. Exactly. Like it's someone so great that you're just like, I follow you to the like hell and back. Like, what are we doing? What are you doing? What are we doing? Because whatever you're doing, I'm doing now too.
Right.
You know, it has to be like somebody you respect in some way, shape, or form. That person has to be like wise and be able to sit here and guide you and tell you right from wrong, because we all have those stupid ass thoughts, and when you have someone to look up to, it just makes you less likely to do those stupid ass things that your brain is like, you know what I mean? Because like being as a person with anxiety, like I always have something standing right behind me, just like slap, she looked at you. Slap her, she looked at you. And I'm like, she's the bank teller. And then the fucking anxiety behind me is just like, so? And I'm just like
throw your receipt at their face. Throw your receipt in their face.
Spit on her.
Bust her head open with the soda bottle, but it's plastic. She ain't done nothing. Bust her head open.
Yeah. That's not what the fuck I said. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I cannot tell you how many times I've just been doing anything. Like, I'll be chopping onions, and then in the back of my brain, it's just like, cut your fucking finger off, and you're just like, please stop. Like, I'm trying to cook. Can you not? Oh, and I'll have somebody call and just like flip them off. And I'm like, and they'll be like, yeah, do you know what I mean? I'm just so upset. And then it'll be like, tell them shut the fuck up.
But no, I have to be someone who gets all that stuff, who understands, like, I understand, but do something else. Do better. Try better. Who went through the same shit that I went through, but they're already in a better place, and then they're gonna help me drag my stupid ass up from the ground and, help me push. So
I can't watch an anime character who's been through what I've been through, or worse. Like Robin from One Piece. Oh my god, her life is so fucking sad. No, I can't have her.
I would have her, like, she is admirable in the terms of like how accomplished she is as and professionally and all that stuff. And I'm like, isn't she basically like an archaeologist?
That's because her entire, like, I don't know if you want to call it a clan. Her people were like big on knowledge.
Exactly,
that's
which is
why
the coolest shit ever.
No, that's why they killed.
I understand that, but she's like, I understand they're dead. Is that going to stop me? No, I'm going to get more knowledge. Why? Because that's the good shit.
They're like historians or something?
You said what?
They're like historians or something?
Kind of, but not really. It's not, they're not only on history, they just pretty much wanted to know everything about everything. And they wind up finding out some pretty deep secrets that the government did not want them to know. So they called, I think it's called a blockbuster or something, a buster call. That's what it's called. And the buster call means to blow up the entire island with everybody on it immediately.
Damn.
And so she had to watch her entire way of life at 8. She had to watch all of them die on some Sasuke shit. And then after all of them blew the fuck up at 8, they made her a wanted criminal at 8. So for 20 years, she was running from them because, again, as an 8-year-old, people were trying to capture her and have her killed because she was one of the most dangerous people at the time.
I thought we all agreed that fuck the government is absolutely the point of One Piece.
Here's the thing. Fuck the government. You know what I don't understand? I don't understand is about like everything, period. Why? You see so many things like One Piece and like movies that are like the government's evil. Like they're doing this, and this. And I'm just like, why the fuck do we have governments?
Because anarchy is
most
not
of them
as great
just
either.
seem evil, and I'm just like, and America was supposed to be the whole "we the people" thing, and look at how well that turned out. It wind up being like we the rich people.
Might as well be.
You know what I mean? And I'm just like, I feel like anime and TV and like movies are trying to fucking warn me all the time.
They always are. They're like, governments are terrible, large religious organizations are terrible, but that is completely off topic. We're talking about what we see in Senpais.
Well, speaking of, I don't know, he doesn't count as a senpai because all he did was have unprotected sex. Of my parents, he was like, he put a piece of tape over his laptop, and I was like, why is there tape on the top of your laptop? He's like, because no one's gonna watch me unless I want them to watch me. And I was like, back that the fuck up. He's like, why don't you put tape on your laptop? I was like, because if they want to sit here and watch me Google midget porn or fucking Hello Kitty taking it up the butt by Scooby-Doo, that's on them. That is on them. What will you get from my search history, Google? Nothing of value. What are you gonna do? The other day, because of some of the stuff that I Google, it was like Rule 34 over here, little ad section, and I was like,
Yeah, I know. What is your FBI agent be just thinking? Like, what the fuck is this bitch looking at?
My FBI agent's probably
Pretty
just
sure
like,
mine thinks the same thing, and I'm just like, yeah, don't question it. Just
My
let it
FBI
roll.
agent is
Let
like,
it roll
why is
past
she looking
you.
up all these slurs? And I'm like, because this whole series I'm watching has way too many racial slurs in here that I've never heard in my life.
Mine is like
Nothing of it.
cosplay and then just stupid ass questions like, how do you stop your cycle? I was like, how do you make it come early? And that was just me this whole week. Oh, yeah.
for me, mine's is
FBI agent's like, this bitch is a freak.
you know, for those of you who are parents, trust me, for those of you who are parents, listen to this. But my theory is, what if there's no such thing as Siri or Alexa? What if that's just your FBI being like,
It probably is.
Probably is.
like, Siri, turn on my light. Alexa, do such and such. I feel like that's why my phone doesn't listen to me, because I'd be like, okay, Google, and it does nothing. But normally it does not listen. Okay, and I'm just like, what is my FBI agent doing? And I feel
Your
like
FBI agent heard you this time. Was like, bitch.
I feel like my FBI agent will be like texting, and they'll be like, bah, 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 bah. I'll be like, okay. I'll be like, and I'm just like, stop it! Fuck, you don't normally listen to me. Now.
Man, my FBI agent was like, what? They know I write shit because all the weird search history, like, what this bitch looking for? Why is she looking for voodoo priestesses? I'm like, don't worry about it. FBI agent's like, this bitch is crazy. She's so weird, but she's probably gonna write some good fanfic.
You know, like I said, what if there's no such thing? Bird. And someone messed me up with that. They were like, have you ever noticed you got a baby bird? And I was like,
Yahida, what is this QAnon shit coming out your mouth? No such thing as birds.
look, like I said, like my FBI agent's probably just like, she needs therapy, bro. Have you heard some of the shit she says? You would trade people, because this is her seventh masturbate joke today, and I just can't. All right, I can't. And the person's gonna be like, well, the other person next to them is gonna be like, well, at least she's not doing it. You say that, and then I'm gonna be like,
let's just take solace in the fact they're probably worse. Some FBI agent probably has it a lot worse than ours. They're like, God damn, y'all are so lucky. I'm totally following a serial killer.
So, can I say something real quick?
Yeah.
Yes.
So, kind of sort of back on topic. Well, no, it's back on the actual topic. I think Will Smith would make an excellent Senpai.
Yes.
Was that just
I
me?
agree.
Because I feel like that's some weirdly chaotic energy that I could get on board with.
I feel like Missy Elliott would also be on it. Like, that woman's so creative and her game is so on point. And she's always like, nigga, I will make music. I will be producing. I don't care where. Missy Elliott is also the one celebrity if I ever met in real life, I would cry and run the opposite direction. But I digress. That's the one celebrity I cannot meet. I admire her too much. Like, no.
I don't know. I think like I would either want to meet Jim Carrey, Bob Proctor. Yeah, you know what I mean? Johnny Depp, because Johnny Depp's amazing.
Darn yes.
Yes, you know what I mean? Like, or Jason Momoa. Jason Momoa.
You mean the man who you keep saying is white, even though he's not?
Nyera, shut up.
No, you said it on the pad.
Yes, and we had to take that out.
Did we? I don't know. I don't think so, but whatever.
Okay, Jason, we still love you.
We love you, Mr. Momoa. You're so fine.
I don't love you. Get in my bed. And wait, but before you do get in my bed, I'm not gonna do anything typical to you, okay? I need to know how long you can go holding your breath. How many times have you been gagged? How long can you be choked before you pass out? Okay, these are all very important things you need to know before getting into bed to me. Do you like anal play? How nervous are you? How much lube does it take? How big are you? How big are you? How big are you? How big are you?
And on that note, no. Mr. Momoa, please ignore everything that came out this horny hoe's mouth. And on that note, we're gonna take a quick break. We'll see y'all in a second.
He looks delicious.
I mean, that's true. Absolutely. We're going to say no. But this is just like, I have criteria.
Yes. Okay. Like I said, I think that shit is a setup where they be like, no sex before marriage. You mean your dick game's weak and you don't want me to find about it until after I'm trapped with you? No. I think the fuck not.
We'll take a quick break. We'll see y'all in a few minutes.
Hey there, all. Here at SipTeawithSenpais, we have fun, don't we? Geese is just that animal.
You know what?
I would say a geese is just that animal that you don't mess with. That animal over there, nope. Don't you want to just grab a cup and drink some with us?
You just tell everybody the truth, and people who just can't handle it. You're the one who can't handle it.
Join us here for anime news.
Also the merge between recently we found out that Funimation and Crunchyroll pretty much merged. So I'm hoping to get more English dub on Crunchyroll because I'm sorry, but I don't like reading. I'm American. I don't like to read.
Cosplay tips. This is on record. I did 6 2 years ago. And fun surprises.
That's all you
Complicated, the what was it, sin, whatever, and
Sine and cosine. Is that
sine, cosine.
Tangent.
Tangent.
Do y'all want me to just tell you what it is?
Yes. What is
Just
this?
go for it.
It's the hashtag. It's that symbol.
I'm turning it off.
I promise you.
We're available on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Podbean, Google, Pandora, Google Play, I think, and so many more. If you can't find us, please feel free to search us on Google at SipTeawithSenpais. It's the easiest way to find us. Check out the description in our videos below, and we will join you soon. Bye bye. Today my tea is hot chocolate.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. We're on to our next topic, which is game trauma. Just games or gaming moments that have left us so traumatized we'll either never pick them up again or, every time we think about it, it causes us to have like inconceivable rage. Who wants to go first?
I pretty much said this story before, but long story short, my sisters and I, when we first got our own console, we had the Wii, and the first game that my mom ever got us was Naruto. Well, I'll say anime related game, Naruto Clash of Ninja. And so I was like, okay, this game's
I had some Naruto games that I
right.
I had like one.
So I
maybe
played
2.
through the first one, then the second one came out, and then the third. So I was like, okay, we'll keep it going. So we got to the third saga of it, and I was literally on the last level of the story mode. And they were like, okay, the only way you can beat this level is if you do a 36 move combo. I was like, okay, cool. So I kept getting 35, 35, 35, and I was like, what is this one point that I'm missing? Because I would hit right away, and it just wouldn't register that 35. I'm at the 36. So I got so mad, I turned the game off. Didn't touch it for like 3 years until I started going into college. And then one day I was like, okay, let me try one more time by myself. Tried it, still at 35. Couldn't get that 36 hit. So I was like, fuck it. I brought my TV, my Wii, and I sat it with our friends at the balcony, and I was like, one of you beat this goddamn game. So my friend Doc was like, okay, I'll see if I can do it. And it took him a minute, but he eventually got it. I was like, yes, victory! Because I was like, I would never make it. I would never touch that game ever again
Look, you did better than me, because I know I had some Naruto game on my Wii some years ago, if I don't still have it somewhere in a box with all of my old stuff in the first place. I did not make it far at all, because it said something about some kind of combos. I'm just like, hold up, I don't even know how to do these buttons like that, nor do I know these moves that deep at all. I'm just like, I have never gone back. I've never gone back.
Mine is it's a traumatic story, and I blame all of our friends on the balcony because I hate them so much. So in our little college anime club, we decided it would be a good idea to have a fighting game tournament. And all of, most of the guys up there, I didn't realize how deep it went until I suggested, okay, let's do 2 games. Because, what do we know about fighting games, tournaments? Nothing. So I said 2 games. We'll have Naruto Shippuden, and then we'll have Smash Brothers. No, it wasn't Naruto Shippuden. It was Tekken. It was Tekken, and then it was Smash Brothers.
Right.
And when I said Smash Brothers, I said it because they played it a lot, but they also played Tekken a lot. And I was like, okay, so we'll just do those 2 games. Everyone will have kind of an even thing. And, it'll be fun. I have never regretted a decision more in terms of fighting games, more in my black ass life. These
Especially
niggas,
at the time we had that club going to, and everybody who was there.
Right.
the 99%, when most of them were dudes, but every last one of them played Smash on the balcony, and nothing but Smash. They never picked up Tekken again. They didn't pick up any other games. They just played Smash Brothers. And it's the Smash Brothers that everyone plays, that one where play it on fucking end level with Star Fox only, whatever the fuck it is. They only played that. And they only played it that for about 2 months. I had never been filled with such inconceivable rage. I never hated a video game more than I hated Smash. And they tried to get me to play it, and I played it a couple times, but I could not stand playing that game. The screen went in and out too much. I couldn't pay attention to where my character was.
Right.
They used to think I was trash because I preferred PlayStation All-Stars. I'm like, nigga, at least the screen doesn't go all the way out and I can tell where my character is.
Right.
But that's a whole nother subject. That's a whole nother story. But no, Smash was the only game anybody up there played for 2 months.
I won't even say 2 months. I'll say pretty much a quarter of the year. Quarter of the rest of that year. The rest of that year.
For me to put in any words, I had to have been paying attention. I wasn't paying attention.
And we were trying to hey, you guys, don't forget, we're also doing Tekken. I don't remember which Tekken had us out at the time. I think it was Tekken Tag Tournament 2.
I think
Tekken.
so, yeah.
So I think that was the one that was out. Mm-hmm. But yeah, but they only played Smash Brothers. No literally other games. And I
had 2 TVs, and literally the room was like Smash. 2 people playing Tekken.
That's it. And that's when we set it up. And I was so mad. And then also that tournament was also the only one we ever did because the person who was supposed to get the surprise final game that we were going to get, which was supposed to be Skullgirls, didn't show up with his system in the game. So we had to pull some shit out of our asses. And one of our friends had, what is it called? Naruto Shippuden, Ninja Storm, I forget which one it was, 2, I think. And we just ended up having that be the surprise game because the other jerk-offs who were also playing Smash the whole time and was supposed to bring his console because he had Skullgirls on it, didn't show up. Yep. So I still love Skullgirls. Great game, excellent gameplay, great costumes. Love that game. Has 2 of my favorite YouTubers in the background of one of the things. I love that game.
Nice.
But Smash Brothers can burn in hell.
Look, I don't play Smash for half the same reason. Mainly because I'm already a button masher.
Right.
Yeah, same.
And I'm already half blind in its own stupid way. And I will kill myself even on a regular game of something that's not doing all of that. Because I have, the one time I tried, I immediately ended up throwing myself off the platform myself. And I'm just like, how? I didn't even see where I was. I don't know how to maneuver myself back onto the platform. I was like, screw it, this is not for me. I love me some fighting games, but that is not for me.
Yeah, what's the name? When Aaron first got the newest one, he was like, okay, babe, you got to help me do the story mode because the story mode takes 9 billion years. And I was like, okay. And there was the level where you were playing as Donkey Kong. But first of all, Donkey Kong has this move where he's spins like a top or whatever, and he can fly pretty much any point in the stage. And I was like, oh God, I don't know what I'm doing. So I was sitting there oh my God, what do I do? And I was just, and then eventually it got to a point where I was just in a mode of just oh God, what's the term for it?
Inconceivable rage.
No, not even rage. I can't think of it. Where you're
just
just
in a stupor, because I would have been like, nah, this is not for me.
No, it's like where you're constantly just hitting everything off the screen, like one hit KOing people off the screen, but I can't think of what he called it. Aaron will probably tell me later.
I have no idea. These Smash terms, I know not.
It was like a rumble. It's like a rumble or something like that. A constant rumble. I can't think of what it's called. But anyway, it was to a point where I was just hitting characters off the screen because I was like, okay, this button does something. But it was so chaotic. I didn't touch. I literally helped him for that one level and didn't touch it ever again. I was just like, that's too much. Too much for
I'm
my brain.
the new Smash Brothers. I was excited for it solely based off of the character.
Yep.
I love the fact that Bayonetta was in there because Bayonetta was one of my favorite games. So when she popped up in there, I was like, bitch, yes! And I was like, also, that is so not for this game. She is y'all can put this girl in there, let's go. But yeah, when they announced new characters all the time, I thought the story trailers were awesome. They were super interesting. Will I ever touch it? I would rather chop off my hands and feed them to Hannibal Lecter. No, I won't touch it. But would I look at these trailers and be impressed and talk to people about it? Yes, because I thought they were fun and interesting and stuff like that. But I would rather die than ever touch
mainly watch the Smash. Like, okay, I'll watch with Aaron. Like, okay, who's coming out? Oh, Sephiroth came out. Oh shit, Sephiroth. Okay, cool. And then I'll watch the trailer, and then I'll just look around for me. That's it.
Exactly.
I don't play. I'm like, no,
I was definitely on. I thought the Smash intros of like bringing Donkey Kong back and fucking bringing like King Cole and all of these old characters that I knew from before, and like the little speculations of people wanting what characters they wanted to come in. I thought it was so interesting and so fun to do. Right. And I was like, I'd love to hear this stuff. Am I going to play this game? No. I was definitely one of those people who was like, did you put Piranha Plant in here as your first DLC character? Definitely. Because I thought it was weird. But then again, I also play a lot of Tekken, and I thought it was weird when they decided, yo, let's put Noctis in here from freaking Final Fantasy 15 and the dude with the bat from Walking Dead. I was like, okay. Right. Fighting games have officially gone onto the weirdest sections for this like last 5-6 years of DLC. It was a good time.
Why are you there? No idea. I'm just here. Okay.
I'm like, are you sure we couldn't get Kiryu from Yakuza? I was like, he was supposed to be here. Kiryu-san! But no, let's get this nigga. I was like, you know what? That's fine. It was still a good time. He's like, let's just make weird characters. But that's my rage. Also, just anytime I want to 100% a game, which is all the time, and I can't do it, and I'll put it down and never touch it for you.
I feel that because I do that with any of my, because I don't finish anything almost. I've finished a handful of games ever of me owning, but I can't say I do have this one trauma that I wouldn't really call a trauma. I was just upset that I bought it and I hated how it played. I was just like, you know, the whatever it was called, the DC versus something.
Mortal Kombat versus DC?
It's not Marvel.
Was it that? Yeah, I think it might have been that one.
Marvel versus Capcom?
No, it was DC. I think it was Mortal Kombat versus DC. I bought it because I'm like, oh my God, cool. I'm here for both groups of this. And I hated it. I didn't even get far. Like I tried one round of things. And I'm like, oh no, they're way too stiff. They barely move, and I can barely button mash how I want to button mash. Because I don't think I could really button mash. And I'm just like, this is a problem. I'm upset about. I spent my own money on this game for it to be booty. But it's okay because that's what we got Injustice and stuff with this and Mortal Kombat 4 because it's so much smoother.
Yes, yes, it was.
I like it.
With racing game, I've ever since I started playing video games, I know the thing I really attached to was just racing games in general. So like Ford, Mazda, and all that stuff.
Midnight Club was what I was in love with. I'm just like, I want all of them. Did I learn how to play them correctly? No, because I didn't know they had missions. But I was just like, one of these days, I'm gonna learn how to sharp turn into a corner somewhere and not hit the wall.
Y'all are better than me. I have never played a racing game in my entire fucking life.
I love racing games.
What's the
And
name?
on top of everything else, because my family thinks I cheat in any game that we play together, because they don't consistently go back to play something because I practice.
But anyway, so recently they had a Ford. I don't remember. I don't think it's called Ford Mazda, but it was some sort of free car racing game. I was like, oh, I get to have a racing game on my Switch. Cool. I played literally 10 minutes and I couldn't figure out the turning. And then they're like, okay, this is how you speed boost. So I just kept doing the speed boost because I don't know what I'm doing. I never made it past fourth place. So I was like,
I
well,
feel that.
haven't touched the game in probably 2 weeks now. So I'm just like, because I'm like, I want to win because I want to get the cool car stuff. I know I'm not.
No.
It's so hard. I wish they would bring back Midnight.
Hmm.
That was a nice, I'm just here to drive type of game too. And I'm just like, this is what I like. This right here. I have nothing against the races because I sometimes do that.
Right.
But that's like, that was a nice game. Just to drive passing time. I'm just like,
No, I want to go back to fighting games because I remember there is one story. So we had a friend, Ryan. He was tall. So one day, I think we're all up on the balcony and we're playing Soul Calibur 3. And I didn't realize that Ryan was what's that word that you call for someone who's secretly good at a game that they keep lying about?
I was saying a low-key expert.
There's another word like that. Well, whatever. A low-key expert. He was a shiesty little motherfucker. But he could play Ivy like I have never seen anyone play her before. He was the guy who was doing the weird trick moves with her sword and keeping it extended out and swirling the whole time. This is the guy who could do Ivy's extremely hard, long-ass combo. And he's also the guy who would hit you after the match is over and keep hitting you. He was that piece of shit. And I remember at Soul Calibur 2 and 3, I was really good with Talon, and I have no idea about matchups, but I guess it was a bad one. But he kicked my ass, and he just kept hitting me after he had already took down all my HP, and I was super duper dead. He just like, like this nigga got 17 extra hits in before the damn screen changed. I'm like, my nigga, this is not bad.
I swear he probably kicked you off the stage after some point. I was just like,
are you gonna just let me just sit here and am I gonna fall off the stage? What's happening? Ryan was just that motherfucker. I never played Soul Calibur against him ever again because he's just that asshole.
He knew he was doing it too. He knew he was doing it too.
He was just being a dick. And I'm like, nigga, I understand that you're good with Ivy. That's perfectly fine. You doing this additional shit is just making me mad and making me want to just, feed you to Jamal. Like, fuck you.
Is that the one who had that circle thing of blade?
No, that was Arthur. No, you're thinking Tira. Yeah.
Tira.
Oh, okay. Because I've only played Soul Calibur one time when we all went to the game area that I've only, if I even played then, but that's the only time I had ever played Soul Calibur when we did that. I was just like, I like her. And it was the weapon that did it.
Her weapon was super cool. It was a hula hoop of death.
I was here for it. It's just like this right here.
I can never think of her name. I swear it's Yuki, the one that's a ninja.
I don't remember. Taki? It was so long ago.
Might be
Taki.
I love Taki.
She was also, but like Soul Calibur 2, Talon was button mashing. I definitely button mashed real hard with her. Soul Calibur 3 was like, look, you got to learn how to do something. She'll just jump around. So I had to learn something a little bit. I still button mash like you never believe. I still do that now. I'm not very good at fighting games. I love to watch and I love to play them. Am I good at them? No, I barely know how to block. Who
you telling? I'm just like, look. Because at this point, I'm just gonna maybe if there's specials of any sort, I'm gonna learn those buttons I need to learn so I can do them. Because with Injustice, the first Injustice, I love using Slade's sword. That's my favorite thing ever because you can use it with any and everything he does. And I made it my mission to learn how to do it on purpose. And I'm just like, when I did, It was it for me. I was just like, look. I don't care who else I play on Injustice. If I'm on that first Injustice game, I'm going to have Slade first. And then I'm probably going to go to Aquaman so I can eventually figure out how to do the stabby stab, his quick stabs on purpose, because I want to do that on purpose.
I was never good at Injustice. I was decent
okay,
at Injustice 2, and I was decent at Mortal Kombat 10 and 11.
I haven't made it there yet, you guys, because I'm still stuck in 9. That's another trauma of mine because I can't remember where I'm stuck at, but I'm either stuck fighting Kano or maybe a couple rounds after him, but I'm stuck in somewhere in that general direction. And what's worse is I went to spend the night over Thea's when she was still here in the dorm, or I was hanging out over there when I was still in the dorm also. I don't remember. It was something like that. And I brought my game and we played on her Xbox. So we ended up back at that point in the story mode and we got past it there. But I'm just like, why can't I do this on my own at home? And I've been stuck in that spot. And that was Mortal Kombat 9. I've been stuck in that spot for years. And I don't think I'm going to go back because at this point, if I play any of my fighting games, I'm going to try and convince somebody in this house to play with me. And we're just going to go to player versus player.
Yep. Yeah, girl, that's what makes sense. No, I have another trauma. But it's kind of weird. So initially, I loved to play Dead or Alive, and they had it on all systems at the time. And I think it was Dead or Alive 5 or 4. I don't remember which one, but they switched it over permanently to Xbox. And I was so sad. I was like, I love this game, though. That was a trauma. And I hated the Xbox because the controller was too big. And I was like, I remember the Duke. And I was like, I'll never touch this fucking system. You can't make me. In fact, fuck that controller. But man, I was so very sad when they moved that game permanently back over to Xbox. And I was like, come on, man. Hey. This is like one of the few fighting games that was nothing but girls. And they all kick ass and they all wore pretty outfits. Come on, man. That was a sad. It was less of a trauma, just more like.
Well, like, mine, I have this. It's not even a trauma because I just never get far in this. But Frogger, I love my Frogger game for the PlayStation that I can still play on the PlayStation 2 because it's backwards compatible. And I'm just like, yes, I just can't save my progress. So when they did that for the console, they added more levels, I assume, and made each different type of level. I'm just stuck on all of it. There's only one part I've ever beat all the way through on that Frogger game, and it was the car, crossing the street levels where they gave us 5 or 6 of them on that game, increasing in difficulty where the cars got faster. And I'm like, oh God. It took a lot. It took some time, but I did it. I finally beat at least that one block. And then there's more blocks down at the bottom. I'm just like, I don't know when I'm ever going to do it. But if they remake that game, you best believe I'm getting it. They won't, but I want it.
Welcome back, Yahida.
Hola.
If her screen's gonna come up.
That's my own personal stupid trauma. I'm just like, look, I want to finish.
What's that?
We're still doing gaming trauma. If you have any stories, I literally only have one story.
I'm just spouting stupid crap at this point.
Yeah, we're just like, what's broken our hearts and harmed our souls.
I don't know about all that. Any platinum that involves online is crippled like that.
I don't get online for those specific reasons.
Well, online are different. Platinums is like you do everything that could actually like be done in the game. The problem with platinums is when you get online platinums, getting a trophy entirely depends off of if someone else is a fucking bitch or not. And like Dead by Daylight, there's a fucking there are trophies on there that you can't get unless the other like team is not a whole bunch of dicks. So that one's emotionally scarring the fuck out of me right now. Like getting the platinum for Dead by Daylight makes me want to like honestly just go punch a toddler. Just not my toddler, someone else's toddler or something. Punch a toddler, fucking Sparta kick a grandma into a hole. Like that shit makes you a level of aggressive you didn't think was humanly possible. And,
Let me get fucking.
Dead by Daylight is some bullshit, and I'm making the mistake of trying to platinum it. Getting the survivor trophies easy as shit. The killer trophies, like there's something called it's basically a 4K where you have to kill 4 people, but you have to kill them with using this like specific way, which is called a mori. If someone disconnects because they're mad because you killed them, you don't get the trophy. Which is what they,
That is bull.
and mind you, you have to get 4 different. You have to kill 4 different people in one match. So if all 4 of, if anyone, just one of the 4 people decides to disconnect because they're angry with you, you don't get it.
The power
That
of
is all
salt.
kinds of bull.
Oh, I did have one last trauma. I just thought about it too. So from my first Wii, there was one day where me and my sisters were playing Just Dance, and all of a sudden the screen went black. Right? So we were like, okay, maybe, and you know not the screen. Well, the screen went black, but the power went out at the same time. So we were like, okay, power outage, whatever. It'll come back when the power comes back. Turned the Wii on. We lost everything. And so my mom got us a new Wii, and you know, us thinking, oh, okay, maybe everything's saved to the CD, and you can, you know, it'll save all our progress. No, had to start from scratch.
Look, hold on.
I have to go through
I got
that
one just
every
like that
time I
too.
play Just Dance almost. I'm just like, oh,
Lost
I hate
all
the
our
fact that I gotta
downloads,
redo all of
everything.
this.
I was so sad. I was like, but you know, I got better. The good thing about it though, I got better at my scores, and I beat my sister's scores anyway. So like, yay, happiness. But still, I was just like, no, I lost all my stuff.
There's a
No, I've
game
got
that I
one.
played called Warriors. I love it. Warriors is an amazing game. Top notch, fucking bomb ass game. Okay, and it's an older game now. I didn't even have a movie. Warriors, for some fucking reason, some amazing person decided to put it on PlayStation Now, which is where you could like play games from like PS2 and shit like that. And they decided
I
to
need
put
them
it
to like extend that to PlayStation also, so I can find Frogger. I'm gonna do it. I'm sorry, I'm stuck on that.
It's on PlayStation. Like a lot of them shits. PlayStation Now is on your PlayStation.
No, I'm talking about you said that it can go up to PlayStation 2 games, right?
No. I think it could also do PlayStation 1 games.
I think it's only a limited amount of
It's
one.
just like
oh, well then that means they don't have what I want.
You just have to look.
You have
But
to
keep
look.
going, Yahida.
Yeah, you could play all those games basically for the subscription, the monthly subscription for PlayStation Now, which I bought the yearly subscription. I love it. But for Warriors, for some unknown god reason, it never saves your progress.
Damn.
And so one time I played it for 4 hours straight, just sat through it, played it, and I was like, let me save this shit. I have a baby. My baby's crying. She's hungry. 20 minutes later, I come back to it after putting my daughter back to sleep, and it's gone.
No, I got one for you. So I left my PlayStation 2 at home when I went off to college in South Carolina. I didn't want to bring it with me. You know, just kept it safe.
I took all of my stuff with me.
It was my first time, girl. I didn't understand and didn't know, and I trusted my mother. And we have left it in this cabinet that we have that she doesn't go in, but it was dedicated to my games and my game system. I put all my stuff in there.
Here we go.
I come back.
Boomers.
She done moved stuff around and she lost my memory card. It was a memory card that I had bought out of my pocket, and it had been one of those really big memory cards for your PlayStation that held a lot of stuff. That was almost 7 years worth of gaming on there. A couple of games I didn't have anymore because the CDs had got broken or I just like sold them or something, but it was there. 7, 8. I was like, Mom, where's my memory card? She's like, oh, what you talking about? I'm like, Mom, you moved all my game stuff and my memory card's not there. Where is it? She's like, I don't know what you're talking about.
Press F in chat. F in chat. F in the comments, y'all.
F in the damn comments, nigga. I don't think I was one of the few times I was truly like hateful mad at my own mama. I was like, how dare you? That cabinet was where my shit was supposed to be. And when I come back, I wasn't gone too much. I came back for a weekend and all my shit's gone. All of it,
So I have this is a dark story just a little bit. I'm not gonna say the worst part of it. I'm just gonna like kind of blank it out a little bit. Well, Kai, hopefully one of you guys can edit it out because I want you ladies to actually hear the story, but try not to think less of me as a person. So when the woman I love died, I went, I was living in New York at the time. I was 19 and I had a PlayStation 4 at that time. And one of my aunts, it's one of my father's sisters, thought it would be cute to be in like an asshole to me, and I'm grieving at this point. I'm grieving. The person who ever loved me just died. And I'm a fucking mess. I'm a mess. I drink, I sleep, I game, and I repeat. That's it. That was it. I could not function, bro. I could not. I was drunk 20 minutes after I woke up. I would wake up and down 2 bottles of just straight alcohol and just back to back to back. And my aunt was making a joke, and she's like, "What if I just unplug your game?" Ha ha ha. And I was like, don't do it. I'm on a plane where I'm not even with you. And she ripped out the fucking I'm in the middle of playing a game. All right. I'm on a game with my homie and Bruno at the time. And she rips out the HDMI. And I was like, you are very lucky that that's only the and it was so stupid of me to say that shit. And she's like, oh really? Really? And then grabs the fucking power cable to my PlayStation and rips the shit out of the wall. And I got up and I grabbed her and I fucking threw her against the wall because I was like, I have no energy for your game. That and I lost all my day.
Damn.
First thought reaction would have been like, I'm chucking this entire controller at your face and I'm pouncing.
No, I threw her in the fucking wall, bro. I threw her through the wall, actually. Rafi had to repair it. And I'm usually not the type of person. I don't put my hands on like people I love or respect. 1, I've never spent my time with any of my aunts. I barely know them. 2, I don't love nor respect any of my aunts. Again, we're all strangers to each other. 3, she was there and vastly aware that I just lost the only person in the world. And it was literally 2 days after the woman I loved died. Like it was 2 days. I just seen the woman I loved. I again, fuck wreck, couldn't function. And all I wanted to do was play my game and drink. I didn't even want to play the game, but I was playing it to prevent myself from getting to a whole different level of fuck. So I was like, let me play my game. This is the only thing that's keeping me alive at this point, because Bruno's in Georgia. All right. Bruno's in Georgia. I'm in New York. And I'm like, Lisa, don't play. I'm gonna rip it out. What would you do if I just ripped it out? Lisa, don't do that. I saw blood. I didn't even see red, bro. I saw black. And everything in me was like, kill her! And I was like, yo.
It's okay. That should be the first gut reaction. I'm just like, oh, I'm going to jail today.
And it's like, okay.
It wasn't about the PlayStation. My entire being was just gone. My emotional state was shit. I was literally not. That's the only way I can describe it. When it was dead ass. Like, I guess the closest comparison, people who grew up with like parents or a grandparent or whoever that loved them, it was dead ass like the person loved world that you loved back the most dying in front of you and you can't do shit. Like that person just died in front of me. Fucking. And so like to me, yeah, I lost like a ton of fucking data on my game, but just that, like that was the worst thing. But at the same time, for all of my game data was gone, and I played I was alone in the game for like a solid 7 hours.
Wow.
Like, yeah. And I woke up from my drunk coma and started playing, and I was playing for like 7 hours straight, just sitting there, and I lost all that shit, all of it. And again, not about the gaming for me. It was more so like you have no fucking idea the person I am not today. And so, on one hand, I lost all my data. On the other hand, she almost lost her life.
And
that's a proud moment for me. That is not a problem. Like, it's just.
And on the note of we will fuck you up on touching our shit, especially during trauma time, we're going to take a quick break and we'll be back for our next segment.
Nyera, I can't believe your mom did that.
Welcome back, everybody. Next topic is reboots that we think are worth it. I guess I'll start off. I do like the Chilling Adventures of Sabrina. Okay, everybody knows nowadays Hollywood is just taking old shit that we knew and just making it dark.
Yeah.
And first it started with like Riverdale, which is the Archie comics. Archie is just general run of the mill. Well, most of the time, general run of the mill. Oh, hi, happy-go-lucky high schooler, things like that, high school drama that goes.
I was still upset they did that.
Started with Riverdale, and then not a few years after that came the Chilling Adventures of Sabrina. Now, me, I'm stuck with all the 9 versions of it. So the cartoon, the live action stuff, all of it. I was all for the 90s. And then the chilling
Oh,
one came
yeah.
out, and I was like, I don't know. And I was like, okay, let me take my 90s filter off and give it a chance. And I did, and it was worth it. So I like it because it's not general high school problems and things like that. She's dealing with how to deal with high school, but also how to deal with her witch side. Because I feel like the 90s version didn't really go into her witchy side. Because it was just like, oh, Harvey's trying to date this girl, but I like Harvey sort of thing. But you barely saw the witch side of anything. If anything, anytime she uses her powers in the 90s one, she always made some kind of mistake.
It was like more
I
hijinks.
tipped over all the food at the prom. My bad. But this one,
comedy.
it's like you have actual shit coming after you, and they have to literally sit down and analyze everything. And I was like, yeah, I kind of like that. So definitely Chilling Adventures of Sabrina is a good.
Yes.
Also, what's the name? I won't say not all the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. I'll say starting from the 80s, I'll say the 80s one because a lot of it's been rebooted since that time. But I'll say the recent one where April is black because Nyera told us before, she was black in the beginning, and I was like, oh, I did not know that. And now to see her actually black, I feels like I love all of it. So.
I think also the reboot that came out shortly before this one that was also on Nickelodeon, or was it Cartoon Network? I forget which one.
I've been Nick.
Was it a little bit more CGI-ish?
Mm-hmm. I thought that was also a pretty good
I think that
reboot.
was straight too.
Yeah, it was pretty good. But speaking of witches, Charmed is an actually pretty decent reboot for the.
Don't spoil anything because I'm only 5 or 6 episodes into the newer one.
I haven't watched
No,
it.
I don't know when I'm going to catch up.
Let me finish. So, Yahida, before you get into things, let me finish. So I was very much a big original Charmed fan. I watched all those seasons.
You're darn right I did
rewatched them. I've rewatched them a couple times. I love that show. So when I heard the reboot was happening, and I was heard like, oh, we're gonna have women of color be it, and I was like, wait, what? I was like, I was on board. I was like, this is what we need.
At that point.
And I also was like, I'm gonna be a little wary, keep my eyes on it. So I didn't watch it all initially, the first 3 episodes when they came out. I had to catch them later, but then eventually I caught up with it and I started to go with it. And I was like, I like this way more because I can relate to it way more. Charmed, the 90s early aughts one, was nice and fun and super interesting, but it's definitely from a perspective that I could not understand completely.
What the fuck are you talking about?
It's from the perspective of late 20s to white people, white women, Yahida. And then you have these characters who, like, the new Charmed absolutely goes into the fact that there are other kinds of magic and witchcraft out there. The original Charmed never really went into that.
They didn't go deep into it.
It did some like little pieces sometimes, but it didn't go really into that. The first 2 seasons, you're seeing like one of the main characters, her love interest is a Black man whose family is Haitian and practices Haitian voodoo. You're seeing them doing spells in Spanish. You're seeing them trying to equating them being Latino into their witchcraft. And it was a breath of fresh air. If I was going to say that, there are some things about the first about this new reboot that I have issues with. I'm not going to say it's perfect. There are some issues.
I can tell you what I saw that I didn't like. They changed how the white lighters worked. I'm just like,
definitely that was it. They changed how the white lighters work. They changed how the dark. There's a lot of things. I'm not going to front.
Just don't spoil anything.
I promise. But for the vast majority of it, I really, really liked it. Even the second season has some interesting looks at people who are not magical, but who still practice witchcraft and magic and things of that nature, and how they see that world. And it's like, this is a really good and very interesting take on Charmed. It's not going to be one for one. It's not going to be the 90s early aughts Charmed. And I don't want it to be. 90s early aughts Charm had its charm, had its awesomeness. and nothing's ever going to replace it, but this was a decently made reboot. It's not the best. If Charm was an A, the new one would be like a B+, if I was going to say that. But it's a good B+.
Nyera, I think you're fucking delusional, bro. I feel like they tried to make that shit and tailor it to like our generation, but I don't feel like it was executed the right way. Like it seemed like they tried. I don't know if this makes sense. It seems like they tried really hard, but they didn't execute it right, if that makes sense. Like the elements were nice, but you could tell that they were just trying.
I mean, most shows be doing that.
I think that's anything made after 2010 anyway. Because, by that point, they were like, let's start to make everything dramas and darker regardless. This is why we have what
dark
we have.
And drama-filled to begin with. But, like...
I mean, yeah, but it wasn't as dark as I'm assuming from, me just watching the first 5 to 6 episodes of the new Charmed anyway. It wasn't as dark as what that has come out to be.
I don't know what it is. I think they just tried too hard. Because, don't get me wrong. If anybody can relate to that shit, that is me, okay? That is me. I am both Puerto Rican. I make sofrito. I make coquito. And they talk about this shit in the show, and I thought that shit was cool as fuck. Mm-hmm. And I'm also not a straight Puerto Rican, which, I meet more non-straight women than straight Puerto Rican, whatever. But I'm just like, I'm not feeling this. You know what I mean? It's like, I want to like it, but I don't. It just doesn't feel right. It doesn't feel like Charmed. It feels like something completely fucking different. And I'm fine with it being different. I'm not fine with it being Charmed. And it has nothing to do with their race. Okay, it is nothing.
I felt that about Power Rangers when they did that Power Rangers movie not too long ago. Yeah. I'm just like, it would have been fine had they not called it Power Rangers.
Yeah.
I like that Power Rangers movie.
I have nothing against it. It's just, to me, it's not Power Rangers.
You know what? I can agree with you. I guess that's the same idea with Charmed. It's not, if it was under a different name, it'd be great. But since you put it under this name, it makes it less so. Yeah.
So I have one that's off the top of my head. Surprisingly, you guys, look at me. But at the same time, I think it's a little bit kind of not as well known. A Wrinkle in Time.
Yeah.
When they made the second movie, I had absolutely nothing against them being different races, because if you read the book, there were no specific races mentioned in the first place. Only thing I had a problem with was they took out the twins. I was like, because the twins, especially because A Wrinkle in Time is its own little series of books and two that correlate to it. And the twins have their own thing. So I wanted them, because in my mind, I'm like, if they could do this very well and people don't care, they might think about branching out into the other books that correlate to that specific family.
All right, pausing real quick. Cool. Pausing 1 moment.
Okay. I guess I'll do another one. It's not a reboot, but I'll say it's a continuation. Cobra Kai. Oh my God. To be honest, I never sat and watched all the Karate Kid movies. I saw the first and I was like set. And oh my God, I sat down and I was like, okay, it's about the bad guys or whatever. And so I was like, what the hell are they going to do with them? And so, it's a redemption. So it's dark, but not really dark. It's like the bad guys get their redemption, and I won't even say everything that goes on, but I'm like,
I'm not gonna watch it, so spoiler. Go ahead.
I mean for the people who are watching, I love Cobra Kai. Oh my God, it's so amazing. I didn't think I would love Karate Kid. I was like, I wasn't even into Karate Kid like that. And to have this story just the way it is, I'm like, yes, there's maybe 1 or 2 people I don't like, which is Danny's daughter. I can't stand her. She's just a thing in the way, and his wife, but the wife that he's currently with, and I'm just like, literally, if you could take those 2 out of the story, I'd be golden. But I love it. I love this guy.
I'm going to say something that's going to be controversial, but I deeply enjoyed the Ghostbusters reboot.
Which reboot movie? Because the one where they're all female.
The one where they were all female.
I thought it was fun, but that at the same time, casting for that. So I'm just like, this is fine with me, but mainly also because I haven't completely watched all the original Ghostbuster movies all the way.
I've watched them all, and Ghostbusters 2 is still, the original Ghostbusters 2 is still one of my favorite top movies. But the reboot all-female Ghostbusters movie was fun. They had awesome remixes to the Ghostbusters song. I liked all the characters. It was visually stunning. It was a good movie. I had a lot of fun.
Too. We on the same boat.
But
Thank you. And I was so mad people were like, throw this under the bus. I'm like, really don't. It's actually really good.
Yeah, I'm indifferent. I mean, I love the original, but I wasn't hating. I mean, there was maybe one or two parts I didn't like about the female one, but I'm like, you know what? It's goals.
It was hilarious to me. I was here for it.
Female
but
Ghostbusters.
Just like, even watching the first Ghostbusters movie, the original one, I'm just like, this is good too. I like both of them. What's wrong with there being a female cast?
The only thing that was getting to me was the way the story went down. Like, okay, when I first saw them, I thought they were like the descendants of the original Ghostbusters. So I was like, oh, everybody had children, and this is the children grown up, and they all get to be Ghostbusters. I was like, yes. But I
think that might have been everybody's first initial thought.
I think
it was a reboot.
I think so. But, I still liked it.
I mean, the new Ghostbusters movie that they just announced the trailers for, that is technically what it is, where people are the descendants of the original Ghostbusters. But I was like, I'm still gonna watch it, but I'm still like, this female Ghostbusters one, I'm just sad that we're not gonna get a sequel, because it's set up like you could make a pretty good sequel out of this, and I would have watched it and enjoyed it. And I hate people who say that movie is terrible. And it's like, it's really not. There are worse reboots.
There are.
You know what a terrifying reboot is? It. I watched the original.
What do you mean terrifying?
The original It was creepy, because Tim Curry's creepy, and I love him. The new It scares the shit out of me.
But that was the point. You know they remade It to make it more scary for newer masses.
Okay.
And I am not even gonna sit here in front on it. I like both of them. I still haven't seen the original second part to the old It, if they ever made a film of it, and I'm pretty sure they did. I have yet to see it though. But just because, also, I haven't seen the second new It movie.
To be honest,
I'm so behind.
Okay, I'm as someone who doesn't really like scary movies like that. I saw It, and I never really been scared of clowns. I don't know why. It just never scared me. I'd be like, a clown come at me, punch him. Good, we're golden.
But all it does is make you just like a little fearful. And I'm just like, I don't trust you.
Like you sideways.
I've never been scared of clowns. But anyway, like,
same.
I felt like the new one was just goofy looking. Like, even if the demon form didn't even scare me. I was just like, you're just funny to look at. I was really And like I said, you're talking to a person that doesn't like scary shit. But I was like, I know you're supposed to scare me, but you don't really scare me. I'm just like, and then the memes came out and everything, so I'm not as scared of either one of them now. It's like, yeah,
and that's I love scary stuff, and growing up, I eventually just was not scared often, or unless it was specific stuff, The Grudge, The Ring, them two things forever scared the crap out of me for a good little minute of my childhood. And
The Ring is also on that list of good reboots.
I don't know about that.
Here's the thing.
It's not a reboot. It's a sequel. It's a sequel.
No, I'm talking about the original Ring that came out here, that one. And then there's the Ring Goo, the Japanese version of that movie.
Oh,
which was basically the American version is a reboot. The same thing with The Grudge. There was a Japanese version.
Yeah, I'll give you that.
The American version, the first ones of each of those movies is excellent. Those are some good ass remakes. The first one for America. Those are some good ass remakes.
I just love the fact that with all of the Grudge movies that have ever been made, originally in Japanese and or not, it's been the same lady playing the girl. And I'm just like, everything about that makes me want to go find all of the original Japanese ones, because it started off as like a small film type of thing.
Mm-hmm.
You just happened to gained traction. I want to watch all of those.
That girl stayed
And watch
employed.
it. And I'm just like, they kept bringing her back. The grunt still kind of freaks me out a little bit, but I can sit through it now with no problem. I'm just like, cool. But no, I watched the original It movie by myself in the dark at night in the downstairs area of our house with half of no problems. I was just like, look at me. And I was a kid when I did this. And I did it on purpose. And I'm just like, look, if I'm going to watch something that's supposed to be scary, I'm setting up all of it. And we had ghosts in the house too.
Oh yeah, you did tell us
mainly
that.
Stayed downstairs, and I'm just like, I'm gonna just be down there with them.
Ooh, you know what reboots that had no reason to be as good as they are? The Planet of the Apes movies. There's no reason. I've only watched like the first two, and they were great. And I know that they were reboots of the original ones from like the 60s, 70s. Yeah. And I was like, and they consistently came out, and everyone was better than the last. So I was like, these movies have no reason to be this damn good.
They did look good. I never cared that deep about Planet of the Apes, even the original one. So I never wanted to sit down and watch all the new ones anyway. Judge me if you want to. I don't care.
Oh,
I said what I said.
I'm surprised I didn't talk about it. She-Ra. The one that's on Netflix is amazing. I barely watched the old one because I was like, hey man, who's She-Ra? Oh, that's his sister. Oh, okay. Female.
Oh, hold on. I didn't know they were related.
Yes, they're brothers.
Yeah.
Yes.
And the reason they made the original She-Ra as a product seller, and they were like, you know what, let's do this better. And they did. Yeah, and it's great.
They did. They really
I'm
did.
here for it. And the Voltron remake. I don't care what nobody says. It's beautiful.
Also
I'm not caught up.
Good.
I'm not caught up, so don't spoil anything for me. I am on the first episode of season 3, I believe, so don't spoil crap.
Oh, and what we've been
I don't know when I'm
talking
gonna catch up either.
And what we kept talking about before we even started this whole thing, DuckTales has got to be one of the best animated reboots I have ever seen.
Agreed.
David Tennant knocked it out the fucking park as Mr. Scrooge. Thank y'all for ever putting that nigga in the universe. And there is our favorite alien cat just going outside. Do you have any more reboots? I have a giant list of them.
You can keep going. I have to think of mine because it's all in my brain.
There's TV shows. I've got also a few movies. Well, movies. I have a few games on here.
Well, I know it hasn't been made yet, but I know the Space Jam is supposed to come out.
I don't trust it.
You know, everything happened with COVID.
I'm too black. I don't trust it. I can't trust it. I don't trust it. I'm just like, I don't trust this reboot. Space Jam was kind of a once in a lifetime kind of thing. You can't remake Space Jam. And you gonna try?
Try and see, but I don't know. I'm honestly ready for it. I'm like, I forgot who was in it. Who's in it? Who's the basketball star?
LeBron James. LeBron James. I think that's who's gonna be I think that's the main character replacing Michael Jordan. But yeah, it's LeBron James. I'm like, I love me some LeBron James. I think he's a great inspirational black man for the community. But I don't trust this reboot. Not at all.
Oh, also, Animaniacs. We talked about it a little bit, but definitely Animaniacs.
Yeah, just came back and said we gonna fuck the game up.
They brought back all the voice actors. My only issue is that it's only the Animaniacs and Pinky and the Brain. There's, back then it was a variety show, so you got you got all types of stuff. But it got reduced down to just the Animaniacs and Pinky and the Brain, and I was like, I mean, it's still cool. It's still good, but I mean, like, that gets old after a while. So I was hoping to see, Slappy, because Slappy's one of my favorites.
I don't know what I would do if like Tiny Toon Adventures had a reboot. And I was like, because as soon as Animaniacs happened, I was like, Tiny Toon Adventures deserves one, because I remember loving the shit out of that cartoon.
I didn't realize it was so short.
Yes, neither did I.
It was short. I rewatched the whole series that was on Hulu, and I was like, this is really short to be something that's Looney Tunes related. I was like, at least go I don't even remember how many seasons it was. I think it was only like maybe one or two like that. But it was really. I was like, wow.
You know what a reboot is, and no one really thinks about it. The Doctor Who. They stopped at 8, and they stopped at 8 for a good couple decades.
They
and
did.
then there's like, let's start this over again. Let's give it a shot. Chris Eccleston, do you want to go play number 9? Or like, sure. And then you start the phenomenon all over again. And now we're on like Dr. 13. We find out a doctor's a female. Nigga, just
I haven't touched it yet. I think the last one I saw. Oh, I can't remember which number it is.
I got through
Might be
9, 10, and 11. I never started 12 or 13.
I think it was 11. He was either 11. He was between 10 and 12. He was one of those numbers, and I can't think of it. All I remember was he had like a red ascot, and he had
11.
Yeah, that was 11. Okay, but yeah, it was like 11 and onward. But I haven't seen 13 yet.
Yeah, I heard she was great, and I can't wait to watch it, but I have to catch up on everything. Spider-Man's had 3 reboots in my entire lifetime, and they've all been good times. I don't care what anyone says. Andrew Garfield was still a super good Spider-Man.
I haven't seen Andrew's.
It's actually really good. So each one plays the character differently. Okay, so Tobey Maguire makes a great Peter Parker, not the best Spider-Man, but he's a decent Spider-Man. Andrew Garfield is a great Spider-Man, but not as good as Peter Parker. Tom Holland is perfect at both roles, and then you've got Miles Morales being completely different, but also fucking excellent. But it's not even joke. Into the Spider-Verse is A+. Best Spider-Man ever.
Which part 2 is supposed to be out this year too? Well, no, not this year. It's either this year or next year. I think it's next year.
And the trailers are all awesome, and they're just like, I love people breaking it down. Like, it's so good. Yeah.
I saw Punk Spidey, and I was like, this is life. Because that is my other baby. I was like,
this is the greatest moment of like nerd history. It's like, yes, bring us it more. So I was looking at these multiple lists of reboots, and I didn't realize it, but X-Men First Class was a reboot. And I was like,
whoa.
Oh, it is. It's a complete reboot of the X-Men series. And X-Men First Class is great. I love X-Men First Class. I was like, James McAvoy came in as fucking Charles Xavier and Michael Fassbender as Magneto. And you're like, you know what? Magneto's not completely wrong. You know, these Nazis and these humans are trash. And you're like, yes. Yes. It's just like, this whole movie is amazing. X-Men First Class is up there on top of my favorite comic. Like, it was just a good-ass movie, good-ass remake, good times.
Yeah, like, I know I said the Ninja Turtles earlier, but movie-wise, I can't remember. Well, I don't remember if it was the full name or whatever. It was the one, not the recent live action one where they actually look like turtles, but it was maybe 1 or 2 of them before that. I think it's
that weird. Yes, that one where April and the hockey dude became ninjas.
Yes. Yeah. TMNT, I think is my favorite live action.
I mean, I did like the fact that the new live action remake totally had Oliver Queen in there. Just being a giant nerd, because he is a giant nerd. Stephen Amell is a fucking nerd. But I was like, this is great. I could appreciate this. This is nice. What else? King Kong, mostly because King Kong led to Godzilla getting its second remake in like the last. Actually, no, Godzilla has had like 3 remakes in like the last 5.
It's so many years. Track of.
But like. Godzilla's like, yo, so there's the Shin Godzilla one where it's like, okay, Godzilla is now a horror movie. And then they're like, let's do Godzilla, except we're also bringing all his other monsters. And that was awesome. And then King Kong Skull Island came out, and you're like, oh, this is awesome. And then we're like, okay, now we're going to do the ultimate fight that people have been waiting freaking decades for, which is King Kong versus Godzilla. And we're like, people are like, my life is complete. It's like, who will truly win? People are over here like, yo, Godzilla got laser beams and stuff like that. And I'm like, that's great and all, but King Kong got these hands. And I'm like, I just want to see him punch Godzilla in the face. That's all I want. Just, rock them. Tell that nigga to square up. That's all I want in my life.
Yeah, like, I didn't realize, and it was when I was younger, my brother, actually has the videotapes of all the old, really old Godzilla movies from OG Godzilla to freaking Mecha Godzilla and everything in between. And I was like, this thing has a lot of remakes.
He does, Godzilla. I mean, Japan was like, this is the greatest thing that ever come out of this country. I don't know what y'all think. And I was like, yes,
Right.
yes, it is. Okay, so I've got a couple video games that were reboots that I didn't realize. And I was like, oh, I forgot. These are great. Doom 2016, and Doom Eternal. Best remakes I've ever played in my entire life. The music was amazing. Mick Gordon is God tier. These games play like heaven. Even though you're killing hell, everything. Doom Guy is literally like, it's technically sequels, but they're absolutely remakes at the same time. But they're like, literally the story in Doom 2016 has a demon selling the story of Doom Guy. Like, he's such a badass that we had to like capture him and trap him in hell because he was killing everybody, and he's still the scariest thing in the multiverse. And I'm like, yes, it's Doom Guy. You should absolutely be terrified. And then Mortal Kombat 9. That was probably one of the best fighting game reboots I've ever seen, because Mortal Kombat Armageddon was trash, and Hot Fire. They had too many characters, and 99% of that roster was garbage. So when they decided to bring back Mortal Kombat as a reboot for 9, they're like, okay, all these other Mortal Kombats happen, but let's just say that time shenanigans also happen, so that we're going to do a restart for Mortal Kombat 1 and then carry the story on through. I was like, okay. And then they released some of the last best fighting games in like the last, decade? Since 2011? Oh yeah. So no, last 20 years. Mortal Kombat 9, Mortal Kombat 10, Mortal Kombat 11. All these, and they've done good every single time. And I was like, okay, NetherRealm, finally, fixing all that bullshit you did last time. Good job. Because Mortal Kombat is excellent. If Alexis was here, she'd probably go on the same thing with me. But yeah, we're like, yes. Tomb Raider was also a reboot that happened. I did not play, I think I only played like 2 of the original Tomb Raiders. And I was like, eh. And I played the first one, and I was like, oh, good time. Those was a... No, keep going. I'm just looking at list.
Yeah, I was looking at a list too. Definitely the one that popped up. A Series of Unfortunate Events. The recent one that came out, gorgeous. My only thing is, I like the makeup of Jim Carrey on how he did it for the movie version. Better than the one for Neil Patrick Harris. But other than that, everything else was just amazing. I felt like I was reading the book again because I was addicted to that series all the way to the end. And
that was one of my sister's favorite book series. And that's the only reason I ended up watching Series of Unfortunate Events. And I was like, this is a great movie. And then she's like, Nyera, you're going to sit here and watch the show with me. I was like, okay, because I like the movie. I was like, this is a great series.
It really is. I was so happy. And then everybody was portrayed exactly like, I felt like I was reading the book. I was like, yes, I love it.
That was probably one of the best TV reboots. And I was like, like you rebooted a movie that sadly didn't get a sequel, but it was still held up in high regard as a book adaptation. And then you're like, no, we're going to do this. We're going to pay homage to the movie, and we're going to do it better as much as we can. And it's like, yes, do that. It's so good. I was like, I have nothing bad to say about those. I was like, it was a good time.
It really was. Neil Patrick Harris, always a pleasure to watch. I don't even a lot of the stuff I mainly follow is when he does his Halloween costumes with his kids, and I'm just like, yes, I live for all of this. And I think he did count Olaf one year. I can't remember anymore. But still, I was just like, he should, and it's amazing, just amazing.
I had another one, but it was Hawaii Five-0. I only watched the first 2 seasons because I could never catch it afterwards. But Hawaii Five-0 was a really good, it's a really good crime show. I had so much fun. I had never watched the original one, and I was like, "Wait, this is a fucking reboot?" I was like, "Oh yeah," because no one really calls their friend Dano. But I was like, "This is a good time. Let me do that." And then MacGyver came out. I was like, wait, MacGyver? What? There's a lot of weird reboots that have been coming out. It was like MacGyver, Walker, Texas Ranger is getting a reboot, and it's got Jared Padalecki from Supernatural in it. I was like, huh? He's the main type. Just like, this is a strange moment. Is he gonna do the karate kicks? I'm waiting for it.
Another one Aaron and I was watching, Lost in Space.
Lost in Space.
There was an I forgot what year it is. I think 60s or something like that. Basically all it is, family of like astronauts and stuff go into space, and they were traveling on the way back when something went wrong with the ship and they got launched into space. And so basically they're just trying to find their way back, and they fix the ship, but they get stuck on different planets so the ship could rest until they could get back home. So they redid it maybe about 2016, I'd say about 2018, 2019, and it's still going. But we watched the updated version, and I was like, I wasn't even into this type of show, but it's actually really good. So yeah.
Mad Max Fury Road was an excellent
I love
reboot.
that movie.
I've never watched any of the Mad Max, but I watched Mad Max Fury Road, and I was like, this is the shit. What is this movie?
What is this movie? And I love
The Mummy. Okay, so Mummy used to be a 1932 film. Then they remade it in 1990 with Ben Fraser. That was an excellent movie.
Brendan Fraser.
Then they did the sequels. I think Mummy 2 was pretty good, and then Mummy 3 was not great. And then there was the Scorpion King with The Rock. That was also not great. But he still looked cool because it's The Rock. And then they did the reboot of The Mummy a couple years ago. The only good thing to come out of that movie was the lady who played the mummy. Everything else could go in the garbage. You know what? And the guy who plays Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. He was pretty cool too. Everything else, throw that in the garbage. Yep. It was like, if we were about to start the Dark Universe with that shit, no. Set that shit on fire.
Also, Thundercats. Not this new shit.
I was about to say, bitch, wait a minute. I was about to say, Kai, wait a minute.
The 2011 one. Don't watch it. Unless you're into today's stuff, like Teen Titans, where it's satire mixed with raunchy comic stuff. If you're into that, watch the newest one. But if you're not into that, you want actual Lionel and stuff, not Lionel being an ass, watch the 2011 one. Because, oh my God, it was great.
Lionel being an ass. Yo, you know what was a good reboot? That Disney did? Aladdin. That was an excellent movie. Will Smith knocked being Genie out the park. He did it his own way. We were all still reeling from Robin Williams' death, but he did it great and he paid respects. And I was like, that's a good reboot. That's a good Genie. Good job. Good job. Good job. Disney does a lot of terrible remakes.
Oh yeah, like The Lion King. I saw the footage and I was like, no.
I thought The Lion King was okay. I think everybody who kept thinking like, hey, they should look more like animated characters. I'm like, that's not the point of this. It's supposed to be live action, so they're supposed to actually look like live lions.
Right.
So I need y'all to at least take that criticism home. Criticize anything else.
Not
but
even
take that criticism home.
I don't want to say it, but they didn't pick like good-looking lions. If that makes any sense.
No, you can say that.
I felt like the lions looked like pale, like really, really pale. I think they used what's the name? I think they used white lions. They look like white lions. I couldn't tell. I can't tell what lions look like that, but they look close to what a white lion would look like. And I was like, had they looked more brownish, a little more, I would have been okay with it. But I was just like, nah. And then what's the name? Another criticism that people need to take home is the fact that James Earl Jones didn't have the enthusiasm he did in the 90s. I'm like,
That nigga phoned it in. He's like, I'm old, man. And I was like,
just turned 90.
he's old. He's like, I'm good. I still get residuals from Disney for this
I
movie.
can still do
I don't
a
need-
voice that sounds close enough. I'm like,
Exactly.
let him have it.
I don't need to be here. Don't try
Right.
me. I am James Earl Jones. He probably looked at Beyonce up and down like, girl, little girl, don't try me. I was like,
right.
it's like, I got my roses. What about you, man?
Right.
I'm just saying, like James Earl Jones, he's like, I ain't got nothing to prove. The rest of y'all, though,
Right.
y'all got something to say.
Yeah, I'm like,
I'm good.
It's better than him not trying at all.
Exactly.
Yeah, and we've seen worse.
We have seen worse, but yes, he's
But
like, I've got it. Let's see. Ooh, so The Grinch, and I'm
Oh,
talking about the
sure.
Jim Carrey one.
Yes.
That was excellent.
Yes.
High fives.
A
Best Grinch
classic.
movie ever.
A
10 out of 10, 12 out of 10. That was
12
a
out of
good
10,
movie.
agreed.
Had a good time. Did you watch Les Mis? Because I didn't.
No, but I've seen reviews of it. It looks good. I just never sat down and did it.
The music,
I never
I'm
had
not
time.
really with musicals, so I don't know anything
Yeah,
about
like
it.
I wanted to watch Hamilton, but what's the name? I just haven't had the time. I mean, I'm a musical person, but I don't. Like I said, I don't have the time to sit down and actually watch it. I think the the one musical I watched recently was the Shrek one, which I kind of liked it because we got to see what his quote unquote parents look like. And I was like, okay, cool, Shrek parents. But literally all they did, they were like, okay, son, you're old enough, so now we're gonna send you out on your way. So
I
I
was
was
like,
like,
so
wow.
you just angry beaver them. Just get the fuck out.
Pretty much. They're like, yeah, you're old enough, so out you go. I was like, damn, treat Shrek like that?
Yes, exactly.
But other than that, literally everything after that was like the regular story. And I was like, okay. Still, I was like, that's such a sad start off on. I was like, maybe that's what started his anger. I don't know. But
I have one last thing before we go. And it's not really a reboot, but more like it's a character reboot / he's coming back.
okay.
So I've been watching a lot of Law and Order Special Victims Unit. Pretty much I've rewatched the entire series. I forgot how much I loved it. And yes, so Christopher Maloney is coming back as Elliot Stabler. He's coming back February 4th for a one-time appearance on SVU. And then they're giving him his own show for Law and Order called Organized Crime. And
wow.
I don't know what to do with myself. This man was on here from the first season to I think season 12. He was with their show for 12 years, and then NBC was fucking up his contract, and so they said we're just gonna let you go.
Wow.
So that's what happened. And no one's seen him in 10 years. And finally, and they don't even mention his name in the show. They mention him as the character. They never say Elliot Stabler. They just like her old partner, her ex-partner. They don't drop his name.
Wow.
Like it's taboo. But Mariska Hargitay, she's like, bitch, I am executive producer now, and I have all this power. I'm bringing a homie back. We're gonna reboot this character. It's all back, and I'm on that team of I don't know what to feel. I'm like, I'm ready for it, but I'm like, I haven't seen this nigga in 10 years. What am I gonna do with myself?
Right.
I was like, and then you're giving him his own show afterwards. Like, yo, Elliot's back. I don't know what to do with myself.
Dude, that's worth it to me.
Like, let's go. I'm just excited. I'm just excited. But yes, so you got anything else, Kai? Because I'm pretty much gone.
I'm pretty much going myself.
All right.
Yeah.
So me and Kai have been abandoned by all of our other senpais, but we'll say goodbye for them. So I have been your mediator senpai, Nyera.
I'm your bubbly senpai, Kai. Oh, she came in last second.
Literally last second, bitch, we'll have to sign off.
Here.
The return of the infamous alien cat, lazy senpai.
Don't forget Hat
Alexus.
Senpai. Had Senpai was here today.
And
In the next
unfortunately,
one.
Yahida had to go deal with her, our lovely horny dog. Yahida had to go deal with her child, but she wishes you all a good night. She says, thanks for tuning in to us. Check us out on all of our pages, Instagram, Snapchat, Facebook, Twitter, Black Planet.
What?
MySpace, nigga. YouTube. Check out all of us on our different podcasting. We're pretty much everywhere, anywhere you can download a podcast. Check out all of our stores, all that good stuff. And we have been your lovely senpais, and we will see you guys next time. Have a good night.
Bye.
Good night. Remember, y'all, consent is can be taken away anytime. Always ask before you do anything.
Goodbye.
How did I miss?
You missed a lot.
Apparently.